G'day scrappers. Well, having a bit of a scrap marathon today, and yeah, just get rid of as much as I can, especially PCs at the moment. Quite a lot have built up, and I'm taking away eWaste this week, my circuit boards and stuff. And actually, before I even do that, the first thing that's going out are my power supplies. So just want to accumulate as many, get rid of as many power supplies as I can, instead of, coming back from getting rid of them and then filling up the bin straight up with them again. So got a bit of an old school, reasonably old school PC here. Well, at least we've got a few cards, and sometimes these cards can be pretty good, but these don't look spectacular. But still, at least there's 3. Yeah, so I've been reasonably busy, and I've done a couple of different scrap metal runs, and yeah, as I said, I've got one more coming up on Monday, just for the Iron Alley and batteries, lead acid batteries. I don't like lead acid batteries hanging around too long. Prefer them just gone. And with these sort of old school DVDs, CD drives, I don't mind scrapping these out to get the circuit board, because they're usually a full-size circuit board. So, as you probably know, the modern day PCs, I don't even bother taking the DVD drives out, because there's no the board is only so tiny. Even this board is standard. It's not the full size. But yeah, since I'm scrapping a few different things today, first thing I want to do is a PC, so I got a cavity to throw in all my screws and stuff, and just go like that. And when that fills, I'll scrap another PC. I do like to just keep empty PCs scrapped out, spare, just so as I'm scrapping, instead of filling tubs up, I prefer to fill up PCs, have a nice cavity. I mean, I don't bother, I do take out these brass spool things, whatever they are. If they're right there. Alright, so wonder what sort of CPU is here. Don't want to forget, nice heavy hard drive. Okay. We got a AMD ceramic. Haven't had one for a little while. About the lowest grade of, gold recovery wise, of ceramic CPUs are these AMDs, whether they're just ceramic or sometimes they've got a aluminium shield over them. but it's still a ceramic. And just one ram stick. Oh well. And there we go. But these are sort of semi-old school PCs can have some resale value. Not the PCs themselves really, it's more the RAM stick, the graphics cards and things like that. Clean up this. This when I'm finished scrapping for the day. If I don't sort of process a little bit of this stuff as I go, I end up with a whole day's worth of stuff to clear up, you know, cable and take the plugs off and everything and all that. So there we go, extrude alley. All right, well, this is my cavity and I can start scrapping into it. Away we go. Next up is this Cisco 2800 series. Check it out. That little 64 megabyte flash card. Now, potentially a lot of expansion things, cards and stuff, but not so much in this one by the looks of it. They're probably blank anyway. Yep. There's one. So, oh yeah, got a couple of MLCCs here that most likely could be palladium ones. These almost beige white ones, definitely palladium ones, and yeah, just a mid-grade board really. Now just try and work out how to get it open. Well, oh yeah, might have a couple of boards. Doesn't look too bad, hey. Nice board up here, couple of RAM sticks, 3 good sized BGAs. Okay. Alright, where do we start? Get the RAM out. These will be way too small for any particular use. 256 megabytes. So it just goes to show you the age of the system. And these ribbon wires, you know, they are very dense in weight, and so they're good value. These ones in particular have got really good gold pins, not like the regular PC style. So I definitely keep them. But I get regular mid-grade insulated wire, and they are quite dense when you take into account sometimes cutting up tiny little bits of wire. These certainly give us a bit of weight. yeah, so with all the boards going out this week, everything that I scrap is just a bonus for me. It's one more thing that I can send out this week instead of starting up new piles straight up. And obviously it's just cash sitting around, so get the cash. And but yeah, I've had quite a lot of guys bring me boards in the last few weeks, so they've accumulated pretty quickly. And yeah, there's a mid-grade board. That's just where that little card went in, but it does have a gold band crystal there, so before I throw it into mid-grade, I like to take them. As most of you know, got to keep accumulating those gold band crystal oscillators. Good, very good for gold recovery. So, okay, so there we go. Nice server grade board. Get the battery out. Yeah, so it's got this little card here, and kind of want to take off this steel anyway. Oh yeah, so it's pretty much a nothing card, really. Does have some good gold pins and probably in there. Because it's a Cisco, I'll clean off the steel. Should be able to get away with throwing this into mid-grade. You know, even in there's gold-plated jacks, little female plugs. That's a good one. The rest, and some nice gold pins there as well. So there you go. We'll throw this into server-grade board. All I want is a couple of the gold bands. I'll leave all the BGAs. There's another BGA there, so 4 of them. Good board, actually. All right. And yeah, underneath this is where like expansion cards would slot in from the outside. There's nothing else there, so we're actually done. It's all blank. Yep, that's all there was. I'll get rid of this scrap steel. Oh, this is just a Panasonic DVD player, just a random one just sitting around. It was right in front of me, so I thought, oh, might as well. When's the last time I've actually scrapped out a DVD player on camera, you know? Ages, years. Very common for, you know, even just your regular scrappers. You know, I notice street scrappers, they just throw these straight into scrap steel. And, but, well, that's a bonus. In this one, we've got a hard drive. So, straight up, certainly worth more than scrap steel. Doesn't look like the boards are that crash hot, but just clean up this hard drive. All right, bonus hard drive. That's going out this week. And wire. Okay, so that's the only green board, is the only mid-grade board. The rest is basically just blank and not even low grade really. Well, this one is because of the little transformers, but I can get them. One more screw. Yeah. There you go. And well, it's got a BGA with the copper top. It's actually not a bad board, really. BGA, it's a yeah, pretty good. Now here we've got this low grade board. In this case, I just depopulate straight up out of the thing. I don't bother taking out. So we've got little extruded heat sinks. I just leave it like that and throw it into Iron Alley. So a couple of them, and usually the bigger capacitors I remove, throw that into Iron Alley. These ones can unwind for the copper or throw them into, you know, transformers, whatever. Motors, transformers. But usually with these I'll just clean them up. And then transformer. That definitely goes straight into the transformers. It's just taped and stuff. And there we go. Got a tiny little bit of copper there. There's another one, won't bother. Throw that into Iron Alley. Well, that's pretty much it. Wasn't a bad board, and got a hard drive out of it, and obviously the rest is scrap steel, so win-win. Okay, so this is an Alcatel system. It's like a communication phone system, kind of Alcatel. Already undone all these little screws just to save, but wasn't sure how to exactly get it open. Whoop. Knocking everything over. There we go. All right, wow. Now that's a series of boards. Hey, that's what we want. Main board here, we've got a couple of kind of like RAM sticks here. The Wi-Fi or whatever it is board, a power board, another little board there. But this is a nice logic board. It's got this card on the top here, daughter card. It's got a nice Motorola flat pack there. So it's all good. Nice. Some nice gold pins in there. All right. This is, you know, this is what I like. It's something oddball and a bit interesting. Just another daughter card. Pretty good one. A lot of yellow tantalum capacitors all over it. Yeah, typical Alcatel board, their own chips. Okay. These are just popped in kind of thing. But yeah. Okay, that's pretty neat board. Like I said, a couple of weird RAM sticks, and it's a really nice daughter card. All right, check at that, you know, all gold pins all around, ICs in there, and yeah, that Motorola. I like the Motorola ones with the four sort of parts sticking out at the corners. Pretty sure they're very good for gold recovery. I'll depopulate this whole thing, even take those gold pins because they are good gold pins, and leave this board. Just take the RAM. I cleaned it up. No real BGAs on it, but Yeah. What's on the butter? Yeah. A lot of resistors and all kinds of things. Very, very intricate. A lot of work put into that. But that's still a higher grade board. And then we got our power board. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother taking the power board out really, because I don't think I'm going to be able to find the right Torx. Just try and cut out some of the transformers and just move on, you know, throw that in transformers. That one, and if we want, might as well get some capacitors, throw them into iron alley. You know, it's, at the moment it's still 3 times iron alley is 3 times more valuable than just scrap steel. So why not? You know, certainly need a lot of these little capacitors to get some decent weight, but you know, we want this card. Okay, so these gold jacks are pretty good. So we can cut these part out, pull these out. Nice. You know, they're good gold-plated jacks, not the real bright, shiny ones that you get at DVD players. Can also take off these ones, but I'll leave it on so I can get mid-grade board. And like I said, I'll just, you know, I could take off this heatsink, and there's transformers underneath, but batteries always go out on me. What do we got here? Okay, so this one I can clean up probably and just get the actual aluminium. Break this off. There we go. Nice. Clean aluminium, take off this. That doesn't look as bad. There we have it. Okay, so we've revealed a couple more transformers. We'll get rid of these capacitors. Might as well get the transformers out. If that, usually, a lot of times they just crumble up. Yeah. The right way. There we go. Leave the rest. Scrap steel. And that one's done. All right. Clean up a bit here. So I've got another beige PC. Doesn't have the cover. We'll check her out. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's had a bit of a collision at the front, so it's all kind of squashed in a bit. And hopefully we're going to be able to, yeah, this might end up being a bit of a mess. There we go. Ah, it's better. Relieved a bit of what we want to look at. Hard drive. Cool. Another one bites the dust. Ah, that's a tiny little power supply. There we go. Iron alley. Good size plugs. Again. Clean them up. Sometimes when it leaves the little pins and I have a look, and when there's virtually nothing on there, I don't even save them, just throw them into scrap steel, because it'll, you know, want the reasonably good ones, but these ones are a lot cheaper, but still good wire. Clean them up. Just get rid of that. Yeah, it did have a top. A lot of times I get PCs and it doesn't have the lid, so you know, you can't really. I put some stuff in there, but not too much junky bits. Okay, so there's no cards, there's no RAM, it's been taken out. So we just got a motherboard and CPU. It's okay. It's a decent size motherboard at least. Okay. Just a regular CPU Pentium with pins. Remove the copper top, and we've got ourselves a green fibre. So this one's ready to go as well. Yeah, decent size. Can't complain. And what do we got? It's just a straight out extruded aluminium heatsink. The price of extruded aluminium at the moment is really good, you know. It's great, and I think it's I'm pretty sure there is some problem with aluminium, the supply of aluminium. Not sure what it is, but yeah, don't be surprised if aluminium in all forms keeps going up. And these brass riser screws, I don't waste too much time on them. If they're screwed in tight, I leave them, especially if I'm just, you know, trying to do as many scraps. But I'll get this one. There we go. All right, well, another one bites the dust. Should I? Can't be bothered. What the heck? It's a board. Since I'm here, and I'll just throw it back into this PC. Okay, just a tiny board. But a bit of wire, mid-grade board. What the heck? Scrappled. That's a new name, new word, scrappled. Hey, we've scrappled out a PC. All right, get rid of this one. So I've got a lot of these DX Dream. It's a digital, Dolby Digital HD I'm not 100% what they are. I've got quite a lot of them, and but they're actually not bad scrap. Just trying to think. I think there is a hard drive in each one. I must have a dozen of these lying around, and we might as well have a look at see what's inside again, just to refresh. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Hard drive. Awesome. And a couple of little boards. Not a great deal there. It's pretty much a nothing board. That and hard drive, another one, that's scrap, and there we go, just a mid-grade board again. Got a little battery. Always got to remember to, you know, remove the batteries when you see them. There we go, mid-grade. And if I take off this shield, might reveal chip. Yeah, okay. So that looks a bit better. Get rid of that. And at least now, you know, it looks like a board. It's got tiny little chips in there. Still not very good, but we'll get away with, you know, one or two of them. If you had half a ton of them, you probably wouldn't get much value for them. Let me have a look at what else we got. I got another bunch of these amplifiers come through, the ARX ZA800s. Sometimes there were 400s, but yeah, most of them that I got this time around were the 800s, and just to, they're pretty cool. The transformers are toroidal transformers, so yeah, pretty cool. Solid box, that's for sure. And nice and heavy. I'll show you the back as well. Wow. So that's the backs. So just a lot of jacks and that. These have been sitting around for a few weeks now. I've done a couple, but still got quite a few to go. Yeah, I remember when I first got these, I actually kept a lot of the 800s, or not a lot, probably 3 or 4 in storage because of the amps, and I thought, well, might as well not scrap them out and keep the amps, just keep the whole thing complete. So I remember where it all came from. There you go. How's that? How's all these little cards? They're only silver fingers, which is a shame. And how's that? They all slot into that board, and then the board itself is just a power board, really. I mean, these will get mid-grade for all these cards, so it's fully loaded, and that's why I decided to keep a bunch of these for a rainy day. One day, you know, I mean, look at that. That's the toroidal transformer, and it's a nice big one. Hey, normally I keep all the wire connected to it. but I think I've got so many now. You know, I've kept so many that I knew it was one of them. Don't know where I got this, you know, Y spanner thing years ago. Probably when I was fixing up motorbikes and stuff, my own motorbike and cars and that. But it's amazing how handy this has come through eWaste scrapping in the last 10 years. Okay, so like I said, I want to try and keep as much wire that I can. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, but obviously all the wire around here, it's the main stuff I want to at least try and salvage, just in case someone tells me we can make a really good project out of them. Okay, and so if we keep as much wire, we can always splice on more bits later. And there we go, toroidal transformer. And yeah, I can actually take this, because if you're going to keep the transformer, it's a good idea to keep the main thing, the part that actually, you know, the bolt, if I can. That's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. Get it rubbed off. The bolt's so long, you can't, you know, certainly can't get a socket set into it. I might wait until gives us a bit more room, but there we go, toroidal transformer. And you know, what's this, 720 VA. They're actually, sorry, very expensive, quite expensive for what they are. And this bugger, I think how I'm going to get this out. Can't remember. I don't think it was really that complicated. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah. This is going to take a while. Got to undo every one of these. So let me give it a go off camera. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think it's just these two bolts. Maybe. Yeah, so how's the price of eggs? It's not so bad here in Australia. We did have a moment, but apparently in America their eggs went through the roof. And yeah, there's a lot of funny memes and stuff, you know, people having a hard time affording eggs. And yeah, but inflation, how is it, eh? It's crazy. Everything is just so much more expensive now. It's either inflation or shrinkflation, you know, where they keep the price the same but they give you less of a product. But yeah, not many things are really, you know, even they used to have a lot of half price specials and things, you know, not much anymore. Like grocery stores around here, you know, they're instead of having full price and then having half price, which was when I would shop, I would buy enough at half price to last me until the next special. But now they're clever. So instead of like selling something for $5 and then when it's half price selling it for $2.50, now they're saying, oh, we're locking in the price and it's $4 every day. Yeah, but what about, you know, I want the half price specials. I don't want the $4 every day. I want the $2.50 every, you know, couple of months. Okay, so this board, a bit stubborn. It's just this heat sink here. Don't know what it's stuck to. Can't remember. I didn't have a problem. No, it literally is glued on. That's all it was. How's that? It's like a radiator. Yeah, some copper coils here. Got a few ICs. What I'll probably have to do, unscrew. Oh, they're all got nuts underneath, so I'm not going to unscrew it. Got quite a bit of wire underneath here, hey? So a pretty good thick wire. So I'm going to take off all this wire, and I'll probably throw this into Iron Alley because it's got so much aluminium here. Might pinch some of these copper coils. It's just like a burnt copper or number 2 copper, however you want to call it. But yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Throw this into Iron Alley since I'm sending out a batch. The rest is just a clean up of wire, but good wire, you know. So prices, we certainly don't want to pass good wire up. Speakers, fans, got capacitors we can take. A tiny little board here. Oh yeah, it's a pretty good board actually. Still throw it into mid-grade, but don't worry about that one. But yeah, well, might as well take these nice fat chunky aluminium capacitors. Get a bit more value than scrap steel. And there's a transformer here. Don't want to throw that out. And another one of these little transformers. Relays. I'll clean that up. It's a relay. You can see the copper coil in there. So I'll clean that up. And this part is scrap steel. Yay! I kept a couple of screws. Just to keep it tight. There we go. Well, that's another thing done. I think this marathon's going to go on for eternity. I'll just go and put this away. To my scrap metal pile. Just got these little, they're kind of like little PCs or something. They're pretty cool. Intel. NUCs, oh yeah. I remember these. Let me zoom in. Yeah, these little NUCs. Can't remember what it stands for. A few years ago, I did look into them. But I'm pretty sure it's just like a complete little PC. This one's had its hard drive already removed. So I've got a few of these, and how's that for a little motherboard? I think the other side looks a bit better than that. Well, there's no screws, and the RAMs, there's no RAM, so I think these have been, let's see if I can get into this side. Go. Tiny little screws. Okay. Did that do anything? These weird little things. Can't remember how the hell they get the brute force, eh? What's holding it in? Oh, there is a couple screws. They're black screws, so hard to find. Okay, that's better. The camera's too hot, and so it just cuts out. But here's our little motherboard anyway. Let's see if the camera lasts on me. It's really not that warm today compared to yesterday. It's like half the temperature, yet yeah, the camera just because it's sitting still. Here comes one of my chooks. Well, there's our motherboard. Unfortunately it didn't have any RAM, and the CPU is just a board mounted CPU. But it's still a motherboard, tiny, and there we go. It's just nothing. Yeah, I remember these now. What are they called? NASA's or something like that. There's my chickens come into the scene. Get rid of that. All right, well, since the camera's getting quite warm, I don't want to really... actually, out of the way, chook. I got something here to scrap. Gonna have to let you down. There you go. So this is a Cisco. Oh, let me just fix up the zoom. It's a Cisco MCS 7800 series media convergence server. Okay. A little unusual. We'll check it out. Okay. Yep. Don't get these very often. Not much really to it. Looks just like a regular, kind of like a regular PC. Or, well, it's a server, but it doesn't look like there's really anything super special about it. Okay, get rid of this power supply. Yeah. Oh, now we've got a bit of a breeze coming through, so that'll should keep the camera in check for a while. Entanglements. Yeah. Normally get quite excited when anything Cisco comes, but in this case doesn't look anything different. Okay. Well, another power supply bites the dust. Yeah, wow. It's going to be a really quick job, and it's a huge box for nothing really, you know, could have been just in a regular PC tower. Could have had cards. It's got none of them. It's got 2 RAM sticks. So scrap wise, it's really not much more value than a regular PC, except we might, it is quite a good board. We might be able to, I'll check it out, but it's only got 1 CPU slot, so technically it'll be just a PC motherboard, just a regular Pentium pins heatsink. Might get copper aluminium radiator. We can check if it's actually copper underneath, or no, it's just aluminium. Okay. Bit of Castelli. And there we have it. Battery out. And well, at least they're nice heavy kind of 1 gig RAM sticks, so just scrap. So yeah, I mean, it has a huge BGA here and one of these multi BGA chips, regular BGA under there. Yeah, it's just going to go as a regular PC motherboard, unfortunately, because it's only got 1 CPU slot. And yeah, not going to try and, get away with trying to put it into a server motherboard. Okay, there's probably a hard drive by the looks of it. Yeah, so it's quite a quick. There's 1 hard drive. Still got to take off this mount. Like when you're selling hard drives as scrap, you can't have the mount, even if they're just plastic, because they're pretty low value for buyers anyway. So, and it's only an 80 gigabyte, and there's nothing on there worth removing either. I forgot to get the toroidal transformer bolts out, so I'll have to do that. And there's no backplane board for they're just like tiny little module. And that's it. Well, nothing spectacular there, but it'll be my next cavity for scrap. The first thing I usually do is the hole where the power supply is or was. Put something there so when I'm throwing in bits and then I'm carrying it, it doesn't tip out on me. All right, well, that's a Cisco. A bit disappointing, this Cisco, because yeah, it's just basically like regular PC. Bugger. All right, so what I've got here is a HP Pro Curve. If I remember correctly, there's really not much weight to it. Okay, so nothing really spectacular. I was pretty sure that the Pro Curves had pretty good boards, but yeah, might as well get this out. And I think my battery is definitely going to go flat soon, so I might scrap this out and then have a bit of a break and see if I want to continue with this marathon. How long are we going to make this marathon? I'm not sure. It might be too long. Yeah. Oh well. The beauty of videos is you can always skip, fast forward. Powerboard just clean some of that up. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, you know, can technically get away with this being a server board. Ideally to remove the heat sinks just to make it look better. It does have a couple of gold bands I can get. Really nothing to that one, but it's another item off the shelf. And scrap metal. All right, so the next thing up, it's just another DVR, Pioneer. But I do like these, and especially when you find them street scrapping. Not that I've been street scrapping for quite a while, and the reason is that we just don't have much street scrapping going on, but it'll come again for a brief period. It's always in our winter, so it's not going to be until like June or something like that. But the thing I like about these is you get a decent sized board and you get a hard drive, and oh, there's another board, and it's a good one. It's got a couple of gold band crystals. These kind of riser cards or extension cards, they're just low grade. They're pretty much nothing. Throw them into scrap metal. I noticed some people put them into mid-grade boards. They're certainly not mid-grade board. All right, well, so in this, like just a regular 20 gigabyte hard drive or something, but in this case, it's got a couple of tantalums. So I removed the tantalums. Not that, I thought when I first started collecting tantalum capacitors, even though there is value to them, I thought maybe by now tantalum might have, become rare again, scarce, and might have got some good value out of them. But they haven't really moved along. So I advertise that I buy them, as part of buying circuit boards and gold recovery stuff. I don't get many people bringing me tantalum capacitors anyway, which is probably a good thing. and even things like MLCCs. I've taken MLCCs off my price list because majority of the ones that people bring are all magnetic, so there's no value there. They're not your palladium silver type of MLCCs, so yeah. So yeah, there's a logic board there, and that's just like a video board, whatever it is. Might as well get them. Certainly get more value scrapping these out than scrap metal value. Not much at all there, but still, I mean, they are heavy, so even those guys that just throw them straight into scrap steel, you know, they're all right. It's still, it is what it is, but yeah, much better to try and get a little bit, even this low grade board. You know, just get the little copper coils, like I've shown you, aluminium, dirty aluminium, that kind of thing. Still better than scrap. Okay. Yeah. So, what do I got going on next week? I got a school, a regular school. It's only it's mostly scrappy laptops. They're not that good, and you know, usually only get a couple of PCs, and so it's only a very small school, so nothing spectacular. Okay, so I removed this part because this is not mid-grade board at all. Just, you know, throw that. I can get mid-grade just for that, and that's good enough. Same as this, but it's a high, well, it's very high. It's got a huge BGA at the base there. So even just this side here, if this was blank, this would be a mid-grade board, but you know, that's a bonus BGA. Certainly want that one. And 2 gold band crystals, so you know, something pretty good for just a DVD. So that's that done, and I've got another type of Cisco. I've got a few of these in the garage, Cisco 4300 series. I don't think there's much. Just took the 2 covers off there. There's no cards, so the cards would have been a bit of a bonus. I'm just wondering what kind of board we got. If I can open it up. Yeah. There we go. So it's a huge board, but really that's where the cards would slot into. Some decent pins there, but really not much at all. A fan there that it's just a fan. So once we take the fan out, it's just going to be a blank part of the board, I'm pretty sure. There you go. So it's nothing. It's just so this one, this will just pretty much be a mid-grade board, you know, which seeing though it's a Cisco, you'd think, oh, should get server grade, but there's just nothing on it to justify this being, you know, real high grade. We'll check it out, but doesn't look like it. keep using the bigger one. There we go. Okay. Now, got to get rid of this heatsink as well. Okay. One tricky screw. Yeah, so just a tiny little BGA, really small gold corner BGA there. And yeah, it's just a silicon BGA under the heatsink. Still got to get rid of the battery. And yeah, I just, yeah, I wouldn't throw this into, you know, certainly not server grade board, even though it, you know, it's close, but it's just all this blankness, heatsink. So I'm just going to throw this into mid-grade board and be done with it, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. All right, I've got a few more of these. I'll probably continue on scrapping off camera. So I think I'm just going to finish off here, finish the video off anyway, just with this little thing here. It's a Crestron Ethernet sort of little box, you know. Got quite a few of these as well, so might as well scrap one out on camera and finish off this kind of marathon. Don't know, it's probably not a huge marathon, but I think it will definitely go over an hour, so I think that's more than long enough for you guys. And I know some of you will say, oh, you know, go as long as you want, but yeah, there's only so long. It's good for, you know, scrappers that use videos like this as background noise whilst they're scrapping. You know, I kind of do the same thing too a lot of the time. There you go. It's just a mid-grade board again. I've got a couple of removable ICs, could pinch, but yeah, these, you know, even though they're an Ethernet sort of thing, not a great deal, really. Yeah, so I think that's long enough, and I'm running out of batteries anyway. Got a few on charge, but I might save it for next week when I do my board drop off, sell some board. I've got a mountain of laptops actually that I've already loaded the van up. Hang on. Let me just maneuver the cam. Yeah, I've got a load of laptops in the van. These are just all scrap laptops. Heap of the small 11-inch Chromebooks and some busted up bigger ones. But yeah, so many laptops to get rid of this week. Still got a lot of these POS machines, a lot of rubbish here that needs to be cleaned, POS machines everywhere. This size POS machine is actually a good size for gamers. Well, not really. Yeah. I got one guy that lives in the area and he always drops by and he buys these small ones. He just wants the screen. He makes tabletop video game machines, you know, like old Pac-Man and stuff. Yeah, he buys old broken ones and restores them, or makes his own tabletops and puts a bunch of games on there and sells them. So he needs this size screen, and they're getting harder to get because, as you know, everyone wants 21-inch, 24-inch and bigger these days. So the 17 inch or 15 inch, whatever they are. Yeah, so he's finding it hard to get them for decent price. So, you know, I give them to him for, you know, cheap as, you know, $5 each, $10 each, depends, with, you know, power supplies and all that. All right, well, yeah, so I've got all these boards, got quite a few tubs of boards going, and laptops and PCI cards, motherboards, laptop motherboards. I just want to finish off all these PCs. This is, I've got a couple of these. These look almost, I'm pretty sure these are brand new. There's some kind of amplifier. Interesting brand. Beautiful gold pins here. Extruded aluminium shield, heatsink. They're really super heavy. So there's a couple in here. And someone just, you know, dropped off a whole heap of boards, and I've got to still deal with. They dropped off a heap of cell phones, scrap cell phones. Don't get many scrap cell phones these days because scrappers don't really find them. You know, you might find a bag with a few cell phones every now and then, but not that many. There's another one there, yeah. So a very interesting power unit. That's Chinese writing. Stentafon. Assembled in Poland, but they're a Norway company. From Norway. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm just going to finish off. Got about 20 PCs to do. Got to get rid of all the hard drives again. Not as much as normal, which is good because they're really heavy to handle. More PC laptops, PC motherboards. What do we got here? Server boards and higher grade boards. Yeah, whole heap of things going out, and the garage is looking good too. Just my depopulation, you know, just remove a couple of things that you know, before I sell the boards, get a little bit of extra value for myself. But yeah, I've got a lot of RAM with shields, heaps of them, and instead of selling them as RAM with shield, I remove the shields. You know, I tell guys to bring them to me. You know, you could probably do the same. Especially these ones are really easy. They don't remove the chips off them, and you know, you get much better value. You know, I think I buy these at about $9 a kilo, maybe, yeah, something like that. But RAM on its own, I buy for 20 a kilo. Just depends. Sometimes if people got very large volumes, I can do a better deal. But these are really good ones. You can see all the BGAs. Was that I think there's 20 BGAs on that side, and then it's got a silicon chip BGA there, which is really no good for gold recovery. But these BGAs, these should actually be worth more than regular RAM sticks, I reckon, because there's so many BGAs on them. They're packed, and then at the same time, I just throw these into dirty aluminium because these ones have still got the glue. I don't bother peeling off the glue. I just throw them into dirty alley, and happy to get that. Don't really lose much. And these bits just scrap steel, so still get some value from the shield. But yeah, it doubles the value of the RAM stick then by selling it like that. Beautiful. And yeah, so that's all I've been doing in spare time. Just you know, I'll do 20 or so at a time until I get sick of it and move on to the next thing. You know, it's my gold band crystal oscillators. When this tub is full, I empty it out into the main batch and start again. It takes quite a while, but I do get quite a lot because I buy boards. You know, I spend that time. You know, it is time consuming, you know, but every time I've got a downtime, you know, I'll pluck it off. Like this is one of the boards that we just scrapped, and all I want is just that one gold band crystal, actually two. And then I'll put this, you know, this one might go as a high grade board. Yeah, and that's probably the main reason why I buy boards. Is I don't really make much on boards profit wise, but it gives me the opportunity to decide, you know, whether I want to pull a few things off it and get a bit of value that way, and just to build up my gold recovery stuff, you know. So it's more of it's more of satisfying my hobby as opposed to making a real business out of it, because the only way I would be able to make good money off buying boards is if I sold them overseas. Like I had containers and filled up the containers and sent it to the actual refiner. But because there's a middleman involved, you know, they're looking at making profit as well. So yeah, it doesn't, it's not really a huge profit, and especially the time, like when people bring me boards, you know, I'll have the scales out, and then it might be motherboards, then tip out the motherboards, and then it's just, I've got boards scattered everywhere, and then I've still got to spend time sorting them out, making sure the batteries are out of there, and things like that, and especially mid-grade boards. You know, a lot of guys, you know, will put, you know, because it's hard to know what's mid-grade, what's not for a lot of people, you know, and so they'll put no-grade boards, low-grade boards. I have to sort them out, and you know, the more I take out, it eats out of my profit. And so because I'm only making like 15% or something, yeah, but you know, and motherboards, low profit, and I don't get anything off motherboards unless someone left a RAM stick or a CPU in there. There's nothing to take off a motherboard. If you take stuff off, you downgrade it. So I'm just happy to get the price that I get. Mid-grade boards are different because sometimes they can be really good boards people throw in, and yeah. And as you can see, it's all neatly packed. I can't just sort of tip everything in because I'd need twice as many bins. So I've got to neatly pack it really tight, and you know, that even takes time, you know, and so I get as much as I can in there in one go. Yeah, I picked up from a PC repair shop, and they gave me a lot of laptops that they've sort of half busted open, and so instead of selling, like, that's just the keypad, there's no screen, so it's actually worth my while removing the motherboard now, and even the heatsink is at least iron-y, as opposed to just selling parts like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Just got to wait for the guys to come with the truck and pick it all up, and we'll go down there and empty and weigh it all up and see how much I get. Hopefully it's a decent payout for this time of year anyway, because I could really do with it. You know, I did sell some laptops a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't a great deal, but it was still a few grand to keep me going. So without that, geez, you know, be struggling anyway. Keep scrapping, guys. Just keep at it, and yeah, have fun, and I'll catch you through the week with hopefully a decent payout. Catch you then.